as a young man. In my early 20s, a new girlfriend said, "Hey, I'm part of a witch's coven." Ooh, and here images of satanic rituals in the night, all came flooding into my head. And even though I was not raised a Christian, uh, all these images came flooding into my head of satanic rites and whatnot. So, but I'm still a curious type. I thought, well, let's check this out. So we went to, turned out to be a Wiccan circle, a Gardnerian Wiccan circle, and it was told to me by the high priest and priestess that this was the Aboriginal religion of Europe. And at any rate, I was fascinated and started attending and getting involved and learning more. Got my book of shadows and all that, and was this now was probably in the early '80s. And I was, my research dug deeper and deeper, suddenly I was quite shocked and dismayed to discover that, in fact, Wicca was not the Aboriginal culture of Europe as it was presented. In fact, it's a wholly contrived post-19th century, largely based on works of the Theosophist Society in Europe, as well as characters like Aleister Crowley, Golden Dawn, and the OTO, and blah, blah, blah. So highly influenced by Judaic occultism as well, and sort of the hodgepodge mixture of the Theosophist philosophy of the late 19th century, and really most of Wicca did not go back before that. And I confronted my high priest and priestess, and like, what's this? This is a lie. You're telling me a falsehood. Wicca is not the culture. It mostly stems from the 19th century. What's going on? And basically, I plowed my own way after that and left the coven and swore my oath to Odin and the Aesir, or the Aesir and the Vanir, and this was in the mid to late 80s. And I haven't looked back since. I've been digging deeper. It's a constant learning curve. But one of the key experiences in the late 80s that really forged my path ahead was I had the opportunity to study with the Hopi, which is a First Nations from central south USA, Arizona area, and New Mexico. A Hopi medicine woman, which is somewhat unorthodox for Hopi tradition because she was a woman. Most medicine men are men. Anyways, Nina Wolf was her name. I had an opportunity to work with her very briefly over one summer as a young hothead, and she hammered me into shape. And after working with her, I went on a vision quest on my own and spent the night out in the tradition of my Nordic ancestors, in a rite called sitting out. And the vision is too long and detailed to get into, but long story short, I found myself surrounded by Native American ancestor spirits, and they were all debating about my lack of good qualities. And it was somewhat embarrassing because, they were quite cynical about my ability to do the job, whatever that was going to be. And I was then told in my vision the story of the Hopi medicine wheel, which is a very interesting tale. Now, the medicine wheel is a circle of stones that exists at the navel of the world. And there are red stones for the red peoples, black stones for the black peoples, yellow stones for the yellow peoples, and white stones for the white peoples. And these stones represent the various different tribes of humans and their ties to their ancestral claims and their ties to the land. And each of us, the white tribes, the red tribes, the black tribes, and the yellow tribes, have a valuable role to play in creating sacred space. And it was told to me in the vision that the white stone had gone missing, that white man had lost touch with his ancestors and lost touch with the earth, and that the white stone must be found and returned to its place in the sacred medicine wheel. white man must rediscover his connection to his ancestry and must rediscover his connection to the land. And until that happened, it was going to be a tale of woe for the planet, as we have indeed led the charge in the consumer materialism's endless and relentless devouring of natural resources, and we've brought now our planet to the brink of ecological collapse. And it was told in Hopi prophecy that when the white stone is restored to the medicine wheel, a new age will dawn. And it was told to me that in my vision quest that my particular job, I was given a name, and my particular job was to go out there and find the white medicine stone and return it to its place in the medicine wheel. And then the circle of Native American ancestor spirits parted, and behind them were Odin and Thor and Heimdall and Tyr, Frigga, Freyr, Freya, and all my Germanic ancestors, and just reaffirming the oath I had earlier taken to Odin. And so from that day on, I've worked relentlessly to restore the white medicine stone to Midgard, to the world, to bring white folks back into connection with their ancestry, their ancestral right, their place in the great medicine wheel, and to reforge our connection with the land. And in the Heathen Freehold Society of British Columbia, I believe I have succeeded in fulfilling that vision, because the Heathen Freehold Society is one of those white medicine stones of European inheritance restored to its rightful place in the world. So that's my story. Hopefully it fit under 10 minutes. We'll check the timing. Catch ya.